Hello everyone, welcome back to Frag Chat with Smelly and Smurfy. So it's me, Mr. Smelly, and her,
Smurfy!
And we're back with another episode. Great to see you guys again. As you can see, we're still in Claire's normal house where we always do this, but Claire should have moved out by now. But do you want to talk about that? Or
we won't go into details.
Okay.
There's been a delay. It's been a bit stressful, but
Yep.
I think hopefully I should be on the move in the next week or so.
Mm-hmm.
Fingers crossed.
So, yeah. And because you did a video about being stressed, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, but as you can see, she's coping.
I'm coping.
Yeah.
Using one of my coping mechanisms.
Drink of the night then is Claire's on the vodka and Coke, but it's only kind of early evening, and I'm driving home soon, so I'm on water. So there you go.
Sorry about that.
Next time we'll make it more raucous, hopefully. Okay, so what are we doing tonight? Let's get stuck into it.
Yes.
We're going to talk about perfume pet peeves, things that make us angry in the world of perfume. And then we're going to look at Gallivant's new release, Los Angeles, an exciting new release from the globe-trotting themed fragrance house. And then we're going to look at some perfumes from Maitre Parfumeur et Gantier, a very prestigious French perfume company. So it should be fun. Before that, very briefly, fragrance of the night.
I'm actually wearing the new Gallivant.
Oh, me too, I was going to say that, yeah. So we're
really?
both wearing it, but I did actually, because I was doing some work earlier today, and I wore Ferrari Bright Neroli, and if you need proof that I really use it a lot, still a great go-to for smelling fresh. Yeah. Yeah. Good room spray too. That's probably why it's so easy, but I do wear it a lot, and it's cheap. Okay, so perfume pet peeves.
Yes.
This is so things that annoy us. Fragrance related, could be about a YouTube channel or the online fragcom or more general perfume stuff.
Themselves, per companies, marketing.
It's a world of quite high passions, actually, because the more we meet people, everybody's angry with somebody about it. There's quite a lot of controversy.
It's actually quite a lot of infighting. It's a very small pond, really, that we're swimming around in.
Yeah.
And there is a little bit of infighting that goes
there is.
on, not necessarily played out in public, but there's, you chat to different people and you do find out little things, which is quite interesting.
But we can't tell you all of them. But there is a lot of perfume politics.
Yes.
But what was the thing you wanted to mention?
Well, my pet peeve, and this is kind of come about, I've always felt this way, but it's come about since we actually went to the Gallivant event the other night, or the other day.
More about that coming up.
Yeah. Is that perfumers are not always getting credited for their work. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors in the fragrance industry. There are some brands that are brilliant at trying to just be really transparent and honest, but then there are others and they don't credit who the perfumer is. They try and make out they're special and they're expensive, and they've got all the fancy pants packaging, but they don't tell you who the perfumer is. And I do think that stinks a little bit of BS. Right.
It's very often the case, isn't it, with quite a lot of niche brands. And so it could be somebody, well, we know of people, that they did this one and that one, but it's not officially credited to them.
So, some people are not getting credited. So we will come back to that in terms of the Gallivant thing. But there are lots of perfumes out there, and you read all the gumph about them, all the marketing crap, and then they don't credit the perfumer.
I have a question about that. Are you saying that it just doesn't have a perfumer named, or is it even that sometimes this person did it but someone else has taken the credit for it and signed it off?
Well, there's that as well, I think.
That's
definitely going on, which will... Again.
So we won't name any names because I don't know, but it could be that sometimes it says a well-known perfumer's name.
Yeah.
But actually a slightly less known one might have done it, and he just kind of signed it off.
Or he's just like the boss of it, or
it's better for sales if his name's on it or something. Or his or her name.
But I think when they actually don't even name anyone, that's when I really think, no, that's a little bit... To me, it's suspicious. You start to think, well, is it just a group of chemists that have conjured this up in a lab, and they usually just make fabric conditioner smells or whatever. You really don't know. And I think if you really appreciate fragrance as an artistry, it's kind of important. You don't buy a song without knowing who the artist is, and you can find on the back of your cassette case the names of all the band members and who wrote the lyrics.
Yeah, I think almost all the songs say the people who wrote it, I believe, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, so really, I think, and we can't watch a TV programme without finding out who made the tea for everybody.
Yeah, you know who did the
production stuff and all the staging and all that. So I just think let's have more transparency. Let's have more transparency from companies, especially these new niche companies that are coming up, like all over the place. Let's just be honest. Tell us whether you know. Yeah,
it would be nice to know who done stuff, especially when it's high-end niche stuff, where maybe not the £10 cheapies. Maybe there isn't
the
perfume.
She's just chilled.
I'll just pick the whole thing up then.
Is she?
Sweetie's relaxed. Yes.
She's chilled.
She's having a nice day. All right.
Now you got the wrong angle and look a bit flatter.
Okay, so let us know in the comments below what you think about that and what your perfume pet peeves are. Very briefly on mine, so Claire came up with that one first, and I was trying to think what thing makes me angry. The thing that mystifies me a bit is when people take the whole perfume thing a bit too seriously, particularly I mean online, and get really angry in comments, e.g. maybe they don't like clones, and so I'll post something about a clone on Instagram or in a YouTube review, and they say this is shameful, like it's a crime. And I don't understand how people can get so worked up about that kind of stuff, or when people get in huge arguments in a Facebook group and block each other, and because somebody said the other one was a bit of a snob or whatever. I don't get it how people can get that upset, and so that mystifies me.
It is funny.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
It's kind of funny, yeah. So I guess it's not making me that angry, but sometimes I am shocked by it.
But we'd like to know what your pet peeves are.
Yes. What gets your goat?
Yeah.
Is it stuff like that? Maybe you do hate clones or hate people who are hyping up one brand or whatever. What stuff makes you angry?
Yeah, share it.
Share it with us.
We love it.
In the comments
We'd
below.
love
We do
you to
love
share it. Yeah.
We do love a bit of controversy. Okay, so we're going to be moving into the main stuff of the video, really. Which we were very lucky to be invited to the event where Gallivant launched their new release, which is called Los Angeles. So, in case you don't know, Gallivant is a fragrance company founded by Nick Stewart. And he's not the perfumer. There are a few different perfumers, and the theme of the line is that they're all named after cities of the world. So we've had Istanbul, Brooklyn,
Tel Aviv, London, Amsterdam,
Tokyo,
Berlin, Tokyo. Yeah. There's 8. This is the 8.
This is number 8. So now we have Los Angeles, and it's their new release. And we were lucky enough, there'll be some footage, a little bit of some clips there to meet Nick Stewart, the man behind the brand, and numerous other perfume luminaries, I think is the word, at this rather prestigious event in a bar in London, in a hotel bar. And it was very nice. That was a couple of days ago, and we tried out the new release. Do we know the notes?
I know some of the notes.
Okay, I don't think they're really into listing the notes.
No, I think Nick said he would rather people just enjoy the fragrance and interpret it how they interpret it. But he did go through some of the raw materials with us, so we got to smell some of the raw materials. So the notes that I remember, and certainly the ones I pick up on, is tuberose is definitely, for me, the main note. And that is actually combined with a material called ethyl maltol, which is a vanillic sugary thing that smells a little bit like candy floss. So the tuberose and ethyl maltol together in the dry down start to get a little bit bubble gummy. But there's also, it's very grounded because there's gaiac wood, which is a sweet yet smoky wood. And there's a kind of like a note of almost like burning rubber or tyres on pavement. So there's this earthiness and kind of more savoury kind of notes with the sweet floral aspect. There's also some eucalyptus, there's a hint of mandarin.
Okay.
And he said for him it's all about the, what's it called? It's all about the composition. And it's not just, sorry, I'm going to turn my phone off.
That's all right.
getting a bit overexcited here. It's about the composition. I think what he means is his fragrances aren't linear, and this one is really not linear. It's really interesting. It's starting off
Just show the...
with, you definitely get the rubbery note very early on. You get some woodiness, there's a little bit of smokiness. And it's not immediately apparent there's tuberose in there. I think it is, but it's not in your face.
It's definitely a hard fragrance to pin down, and you can't just say, oh, it's one of those, or it's in that category or that category. I think he described it as a hot neon floral.
Yes.
So
it's inspired by Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So if you imagine what's going on in Los Angeles, you've got Hollywood, and you've got fast cars, and
I think he kind of the sweetness gives a slightly bubblegum-esque feel, and that was supposed to encapsulate maybe the slightly trashy or neon lights element of Sunset Strip. Is that in Los Angeles? That kind of those kind of places.
And there was a song by Donna Summer.
Ah, yes.
Do you remember which song it was? I can't remember.
No, it wasn't the one I'd heard.
Something?
It might have the word sunset in it. You're right.
And he insisted that the perfumer listen to the song, which I think is kind of fun. While she was sort of composing it.
I think he might have been joking when he said he insisted and forced her to listen.
No, he said there's always a song. There's always a song.
He did. So, okay, all right. Yeah.
Anyway, so the perfumer's carrying Chevalier. And kind of this is all tied in with what we were saying earlier, or what I was saying earlier about perfumers not getting credit. Apparently she's very quiet. She's not looking to be in the limelight. But she has composed a lot of really great fragrances. She has even done stuff for Guerlain. But you'll probably never see her name in any of their paraphernalia information.
Their gump that they put out with
everyone says it's Thierry Wasser. So you know what we don't know, but so she's a perfumer, and I personally think she's done a gorgeous job, because it's wearable, but it's interesting. It's niche, but it's definitely not too weird. It's not too artistic or too hard to understand.
Yeah, their fragrances are quite balanced and delicate. They're not in your face, sort of blow your head off kind of things that are hugely polarising. No,
and this is a tuberose fragrance. The tuberose can be very, very hard. I can't deal with a lot of tuberose.
You're not a fan normally,
are you? No, not normally. Right. But this has air to breathe, and I almost like a Guerlain gives you space to breathe. So it's not thick and heavy and like, whoa. Yeah. It's quite light and airy, and that's really, I've never really experienced that with tuberose in a fragrance, because tuberose is always like bang, smacks me in the face. Yeah. Really hard for me to cope with. It has that
reputation,
But the way they've handled it, I think it's really good.
Okay, yeah, it's a really nice balance of that. There is a little bit of this sweety bubblegum thing, but it's not sort of overwhelmingly that way.
No, it's not sweet like Prada candy.
No,
but it's kind of you could take a bit of Prada candy and put it in with more grounding stuff.
That gives people an idea. Would you say quite fruity?
Fruity? I think there's a mention of smoothies in the marketing thing that we were sent. So I think there's some fruit notes.
Right.
There is mandarin, that's definitely in the notes, but I feel like there's a bit more than just mandarin. It feels like there's a little bit of some kind of maybe pink fruits or something.
Yeah, it's quite cool. It's definitely not one that's very... I mean, we've only had it a few days, and the company were kind enough to give us a bottle, so we should disclose that. But I think it would take a while to get to know it, so hopefully we'll come back to it and mention it when we've really got to know it a bit more and worn it a bit more.
Yeah, I'll certainly do a full-on intense review once I've had a chance to wear it. I've done a little first impressions on my channel.
I'll link that in the description.
Thanks.
So yeah, very, very interesting, delicate, niche, connoisseurs type of fragrance, and very complex. A bit of that burnt rubber thing as well, though, as well as everything we just mentioned. So worth checking out, definitely. And there were some other really good ones in their line that we've really enjoyed.
I'm a big fan of Brooklyn.
Me too, yeah.
Which is the sort of like a lemon and vanilla combo that's really lovely. And
I think Istanbul is one of their most raved about ones, which I think it's kind of spicy and mysterious.
I can't remember Tel Aviv and Istanbul. I'm not quite sure. I mixed them up a little bit, but I think they're both like kind of spicy. One's a bit more floral actually. put.
If you Google them, you'll check it. You can find, easily loads of reviews of their stuff, and they're really a good line worth exploring. So,
one other thing I just want
yes.
to mention is Nick says what he loves is he has the freedom to spend years on a fragrance. So this one was sort of 2 years in the making.
I think he said 3.
Or was
Yeah,
it 3?
3 years in the making.
And it wasn't quite going where they thought they wanted it to go. So they just put it on the shelf and forgot about it while they worked on other stuff. And then picked it back up when the time was right. And this time is now exactly what he wanted it to be. I think it went a bit too feminine for him to start with, because he wanted everyone to be able to wear it, not just...
he was very much pitching it as a unisex, a non-gendered type of fragrance. No, I wasn't thinking of political correctness, but I think he was just saying, I don't even think that it is masculine or feminine with fragrances, they're just a smell.
Yeah.
I think that was, very much the philosophy of the brand. And it obviously, when so many houses seem to pump out fragrances by the dozen every couple of months now, clearly this brand takes a long time.
Time has been spent here, and I think I personally really appreciate that. Sometimes it's hard to follow a brand when they're pumping out one thing after another. So
it can be hard to sustain interest when they're coming out with so much stuff. I think, by the way, the price, 30ml, and they only come in these 30ml sizes, and that they cost £65, so quite accessible for a niche fragrance, and very handy, neat size. I kind of like the simplistic aesthetic that they, clearly very deliberately eschewed fancy packaging.
And it's quite sturdy as well. So the
they're
glass
good quality,
feels sort of like fairly
and we liked
thick.
the sprayer, didn't we?
It's a good solid. It's not going to fall over too easy. And the sprayer
sort of comes out for almost a couple of seconds at a time.
So if you wanted to go light, you can go.
The opening's really good.
Or if you wanted to go heavy, you just stay in one space and go. But I really like that.
Little things like that make a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so really good release from a very exciting niche house, and more to come. I wonder what cities they'll go to next.
I know. Let's have a guessing game now.
Okay.
What's the next city?
Moscow.
Okay.
I think it's time they went that way.
Don't know when it's going to come out, so let's think. What's a fun city? Let's go somewhere interesting. No. I'm going to go Tallinn in Estonia, just to put something crazy out there.
Okay, interesting. Let us know if you've tried anything from Gallivant in the comments below. Are we on to the next subject?
Yes.
Okay.
Next subject.
So on the next subject, another niche house which I'd never sampled any of their fragrances, but they very kindly got in touch and sent me a sample set of rather generous travel sprays and a full bottle. And the house is Maitre. Excuse my pronunciation. Maitre
Parfumeur Gantier.
Or in my way of speaking, Maitre Parfumeur et Gantier. And this is a Parisian fragrance house, and they were founded back in 1988 by Jean-Francois Laporte, who you may have heard of because he founded the company Sisley, and then in 1976 founded L'Artisan Parfumeur, which is of course now still a going thing, but he moved on and in 1988 founded his own company. He sadly passed away in 2011, but he was the perfumer for many of their earlier stuff, which you can still get. And I was sent one called Rose Muscissime, or Muscis.
I think it's Muscissime.
Okay.
But we don't
discuss. It's one of their long-standing compositions from 1988 with a delightful presentation. If you can, that would be lovely. Thank you. It comes in a very lovely design of a bottle, really heavy.
So heavy, thick glass, and there's a coloured stone on the top there. And you've got some detailing, some name of the company's etched around the lid there. It's not magnetic, but it's very tight. I know you guys like it tight. What are you laughing at?
Moving swiftly onwards.
Why are you laughing? It doesn't feel like a sticker. It feels
embossed.
Properly embossed on there. Yeah, it's not etched. It's raised. But it doesn't feel like they've just chucked a sticker on. It feels higher quality than that.
Yeah. It's got a little stone in the lid.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Very nice presentation. And
heavy, like twice as heavy as the average perfume bottle.
Yeah, it is really heavy. Yeah,
that glass is thick.
2 or 3 times heavier than a Creed.
Good weapon.
It would be a good weapon, yeah. Prices for these vary a little bit. This one, the 120ml, is €160. Some of the others seem to be €185 for 120ml. And in some cases, you can get a travel spray of, I think, a smaller
mils.
size. Yeah, I can't remember if it was 30 or 20 mils.
No, they were 30.
Sorry, thank you. The price was accordingly lower.
Sort of 65-ish. I think they might vary slightly.
Approximately.
They also do sort of home fragrances and stuff as well, but obviously we're not going to go into that.
Not today, no, but we are going to talk about 4 or 5 of their perfumes that we've really liked. They sent a set of about 10 different travel sprays of this kind. I guess that's a 10ml approximately. And they come with rather nice labels too. So I'll just see what's up with Madam.
So earlier today, I
Hello.
sat on my cat.
What's up? You want to go out? I'm sorry.
Oh my god. She's very demanding. I was filming a video. I got up to get something, came back, and I went to sit down. I could see she was on the floor, and I know she has a habit of, as soon as you would go to sit down, she jumps into your seat. So I thought, oh no, she's not going to do it. So I sat down and I sat on the cat. Like she was there under my bum, the poor little thing. I'm surprised I didn't break anything. But she seems okay. She's recovered. So
yep, she's sturdy. They very quickly move if they're in danger.
All that fuss to get out that door, and she's now here.
Yeah, she's quite a diva. This
what
cat,
goes on in these cats' minds?
Not much. Right. Okay. So the fragrances. You've got them in the right order.
Yes. So we have.
You talk and I'll hold them up.
Picked out some that jumped out at us.
Yeah, about half of them.
So this is probably my favourite one. Fleur de Comores, or Comores, which I think is an island, but I didn't Google it. Okay. So I think it's a French island somewhere in the Caribbean or Pacific or something. I think you get some pretty nice ingredients from that island, if I remember, for 4 fragrances actually. This is very tropical, floral.
Yep.
Reminds me of tropical holidays, a bit like suntan lotion, a bit like beachy scents.
Definitely.
But it's not exactly like any other beachy scent I've smelled.
No.
Where do I put it? Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's a little bit gourmand, I think, just because it's got vanilla in it.
Yep.
It's ylang ylang. You've got blackcurrant, passion fruit, green leaves, vanilla, jasmine, orange, absolute, ylang ylang, ambergris, vetiver musk.
Yeah. Very much in the tropical summer holiday kind of vibe. Reminded us a little bit of Guerlain's terracotta.
Yeah.
Definitely got that jasmine.
It's a little bit like that, but it's not quite as sharp, and it feels warmer and thicker and richer to me.
Yeah.
But it's in that.
That will give you an idea. Yeah. Quite floral. Many people would probably say feminine if they had to name a gender.
Probably just because of the florals. Yeah.
I'd enjoy wearing that because I do enjoy wearing E.g. Guerlain terracotta, which is a passing similarity to that. And one of your favourites, isn't it, from the bunch?
I'm really loving it. I'm borrowing it.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to get to take all these home.
I'm gonna wear it, and thoroughly loving it. There's something a touch spicy about it as well. I feel it's a bit
very interesting. I like that.
It.
Oh, I like. Yeah, it's got blackcurrant. I see now. Whenever there's blackcurrant in something, I tend to like it.
You do like a blackcurrant,
I
right?
do. But mentioning not any famous Creed fragrance
or any famous drinks.
Oh right.
Soft drinks.
Ribena.
Woo!
Oh, Umbungo.
No, it's Ribena, isn't it?
Oh,
the little berries in the advert.
Yeah, that's
Woo!
it.
Ribena berries. Woo!
Yes.
It's
Sorry,
a bit
Chris.
old school, that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but moving on with there used to be an advert for a drink called Ribena, which was a very syrupy blackcurrant drink.
Yeah, and it's a classic British drink.
Yeah. Delicious Ribena, now even better value than ever. Woo!
Yeah, I think it used to have about 12 bags of sugar in every bottle, but I think they've changed it now, so they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it was a really good advert actually.
Yeah.
I used to be quite good at the woo, but I've lost it.
Okay. It had blackberries that went woo in the advert.
Ribena berries.
You think there's such thing as a Ribena berry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I get confused blackberries and blackcurrants.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's a difference.
One of them's one little circle, and the other one is several blobby things, like a raspberry but dark. That's a blackberry.
That's a blackberry.
A black currant.
But black
is what
currant,
we've got here.
which is what we're talking about, is the Ribena berry.
And in Ribena,
yeah. Okay. Now we've established that.
Is anyone still watching?
I think we've lost him.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Come back. Right.
Next one, Rose Opulente or Rose Opulente. Not quite sure how you pronounce that. So it's whatever. So notes: fruity aldehyde, leaf green, rose essence, rose absolute, jasmine, cascarilla. We had to look that one up. Powdered eggshell.
How strange.
Musk, ambergris, sandalwood.
Right.
This one's very rosy, like
it's a very heavy rose.
proper rose.
Yeah. I said that it reminded me of I thought that it was a rose oud scent before I read the notes, but it clearly doesn't have that listed.
I didn't smell any oud.
Okay.
I think maybe there's a connotation when you smell rose, you sometimes think about oud.
Probably.
But it did smell a little bit more complex in the opening than it does now.
Okay.
To me, it smells like a musky rose with a hint of greenery. It's nice. Might be a little bit too mainstream.
If you love rose,
Well
worth checking this out.
It's a very rich rose.
There's obviously a lot more going on than that, but we haven't had these very long.
No, and we haven't tried them on skin, and it's never fair to judge anything on skin. And I'm not. I'm not saying it. That.
Sorry.
That.
Yep.
I've only had one drink, but I haven't eaten since breakfast. So.
God, really?
Yeah, I'm trying to shift a few pounds.
Kare's doing a keto diet. Which means
keto.
hardly any carbs and lots of protein.
Less than 20 grams of carbs a day.
Yeah.
And just a high fat and sort of medium protein.
I'm not sure about this diet.
I love it. I just eat cream.
Okay.
Eat cream and cheese and bacon. But yeah, the upshot is one vodka and I'm a little bit shocked.
Yeah, because
But because I haven't had lunch, so yeah.
Well, that's no good. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, sorry. I was
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Do you think we were going to eat?
No, I wasn't sure if you. I was holding on anyway because I wanted to have like a big gap, because I've not been losing weight. I've just been staying the same. So I thought if I have one day where I have like a bit of gap between food, might help. But yeah.
All right.
Anyway, are you there?
I'm not going to edit this.
Don't leave it in.
I can't be bothered. Right.
So yeah, not to say that this is not great. If you love rose, I think you should check it out. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But it's definitely musky rose. A little bit. It's got the fruity stuff. It just says fruity aldehyde. So aldehyde makes things fizzy.
Okay.
So they take
It's quite woody as well, I think, and there is a sandalwood note listed. So it's got that kind of wood. Maybe that's why I sort of thought oud, something a bit woody.
And you have this powdered eggshell. Now
you
don't really know what powdered eggshells smell like. I can't imagine they have much scent, but there is powderiness to that. So.
Yeah, definitely powdery. Interesting, we say, I think, that one. Now, next one. I think this is my current favourite that I've tried so far.
This is Amber Mythique, and we have bergamot, geranium, coriander, incense, myrrh, lavender, labdanum, patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla, and tonka beans. So you've got all the normal ingredients for a amber fragrance. But you've got lavender and myrrh.
I picked up
geranium, coriander, bergamot.
It's also got patchouli as well, and now that you mention it, I get that.
It's very dusty and powdery.
Yeah, that's why I like it. I like dusty things.
I said earlier, it reminds me of a room in a house that's been abandoned for years, or like Mrs. Havisham's house.
Right.
And everything's covered in dust.
Yep. I get that. It also reminds me a little bit of Ambra del Napoli from Profumi di Firenze. Is that right? And I think it's really nice. I'm loving this one. It's warming, it's resinous, it's rich, it's sweet, but it's not very sweet. It's a little bit old school, maybe.
Definitely, it's got like a dusty, musty, old school kind of feel.
Also kind of mysterious.
I think the coriander gives it a bit of a green lift.
Okay.
Yeah, it's maybe a bit too dry for my usual taste.
Yeah, now that you say dry, this is probably way off, but there's almost a tiny hint of the arid element of Lair de Desert Moroccan. That kind of exotic yet dry desert kind of feel.
Very dry, a little bit green as well, but that nice sweet, musky, resinous, ambery base.
I love that one. That's really, really nice.
It's interesting, like definitely interesting.
For autumn and winter, that would be brilliant. That one's much more unisex. There's nothing particularly that would make it
it doesn't
feminine.
lean. Probably the first two were quite floral, and therefore some people will find they feel feminine.
Yes.
But that is more in the middle.
Yep, 100% agree.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
next
one
up,
is,
your favourite.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure if it's my favourite or if the other one's my favourite.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
but
no. Okay, your other favourite.
my other favourite.
That is good.
You really
That
like
is
this one
really,
too.
really, really good.
Bois du Turc?
Yep. Bois de Turkey, I'm calling it, which we assume means Turkish woods. Right?
Or it could be like men turkey that have got the horn, like male turkeys that want to get.
It could. Which do you think's most likely that they named the perfume after? Discuss. One or the other, yeah.
Don't now imagine turkeys with woods.
I don't know.
With yeah.
Be quite.
Do you know what? I'm not loving it quite as much as I was.
Oh, okay. That's a shame.
Now it's dried down a little bit.
Oh, I do.
It's much more woody and dry again.
Mm-hmm. It had quite a sweet opening, didn't it?
Yeah, I think the opening I really liked. It was really interesting. There was something. It was kind of ambery and resinous, but there was something giving it a lift and a freshness to it.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's very dry again.
Oh, okay. Would you say it's a bit powdery?
Yeah, probably.
I think it's powdery, and maybe that would time with the iris can be powdery. It also reminds me a little bit, this may be because the name's suggesting it, of a Turkish delight type of feel. But perhaps you don't agree.
Not so much.
I think it reminds me a bit of Turkish delight because it's got mandarin and orange blossom.
Yeah.
I know there's quite a lot of floral flavours they put in Turkish delight, although it should be rose probably, but a little bit of that. So it reminded me a tiny bit of Traverse de Bosphore.
Okay,
but I don't think it's doing that.
It's nowhere near
with you.
as sweet.
Okay.
It's more woody, more about, to me anyway, it's more about the woods, the incense, the dry aspects of it. I get that some of the florals, you've got some jasmine in there as well.
Yeah.
But very, as you say, powdery, but very kind of dry. And another one that really does sit very much in the middle when it comes to unisex.
I really like that a lot. It's reminding me of something, but I can't. This is probably not going to be what the company wants here, but it reminds me a bit of Rasasi Darej, which is supposed to be like Valentino V, which I really like. I really love it. Okay, some of my viewers will find that an at least will get what I mean in their mind. I think it could be the niche Darej.
Okay, I didn't like that Darej.
No, I know you don't like it. Yeah, you hate it.
That is shit.
Okay, Claire doesn't agree, but it's good to disagree.
Yeah, no, this definitely smells like classy fragrance.
One of the more fascinating.
A lot less sweet than that Darej, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
We both really like.
I thought it was my thing.
Okay.
But now it's dried down. On the paper,
right,
it's a bit too dry for me. But
I'm still loving that one.
On skin, it could be a different story, so I'm certainly not dismissing it.
Okay, we probably should try and wind this up fairly soon.
Yeah.
So we've got two left.
You just wanted to mention...
Very, very briefly. I might love...
No, that's it, one left.
Yeah, the main one.
Oh, right.
Garrigue. This is their fragrance that smells similar to Green Irish Tweed by Creed. I don't think it's a clone in any way, but it has that similar greenness and that very distinctive note of Green Irish Tweed. Maybe a little bit lighter and more airy, something different. Definitely interested to try that one out more.
It definitely feels very similar to Green Irish Tweed.
Yeah.
Closer to Green Irish Tweed than Cool Water.
Okay.
So it's not quite as fresh as Cool Water is, or synthetic, although I actually prefer Cool Water. It's got this green, I thought there was galbanum in here because it's so dry and powdery.
It's lemon, bergamot, juniper, lavender, sage, rosemary, sandalwood and musk. It's definitely much more me in theory than any of the others.
Yeah,
So we'll come back to that one, and if it's a real banger, I'll buy a bottle and feature it on the channel. Last but not least, and the one that the company very generously sent a full bottle of, as we've said, stunning bottle design, and this is called Rose Muscissime or Rose Muscissime. Discuss.
They talk in the Gumph. They talk about kissing in spring in a garden. So I'm guessing the kiss you would probably pronounce Kissimmee, Kissimmee in Florida. Rose Muscissime.
Okay.
Because it's not really a word. I can't see it being a French word or even a play on a French word, really. So
I'm not going to get into this because I'll get it. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go with you.
Really nice. It's a fresh, fruity, floral. You can smell the black.
Fruity.
It's blackcurrant, isn't it?
Yeah, blackcurrant. If you like a blackcurrant note, really, really
it's
beautiful.
It's really nice in there. So we've got blackcurrant, exotic fruits, rose absolute, iris, carnation, musk, sandalwood, and ambergris.
The opening is really
the
good.
Opening's very
a fresh, fruity scent. Sorry.
If you want something fresh and fruity, then it is really nice. I wouldn't say the rose overplays anything here at the moment.
Mm-hmm. This is one of their long-standing classics, I think, from 1988. So I maybe think that's perhaps why they sent it. Perhaps it's a real flagship of the brand.
Okay, yeah. It's definitely pretty. People might feel it leans a bit feminine because it is a fruity floral. It certainly feels like a fruity floral. Mm-hmm. On my skin, I did this about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
It's dried down, very musky and almost slightly dirty.
It's completely, it has changed a lot. Yeah.
Potentially, we're now talking about musk, ambergris, and sandalwood. It's lost a lot of those vibrant top notes.
Yeah, interesting change on skin. So I really like the opening. I find it quite interesting. I read some reviews and there are some people real sort of devotees of how beautiful this one is. Okay. So I think we both will check out these in a bit more depth. And we wanted to share them with you, but I think we'll both find one or two that are real favourites. So you're going to hear more about.
They definitely feel like quality to me.
And it feels like a real niche house that isn't. I think sometimes we hear about a bullshit niche house, mentioning it with no names at all. But this seems like a no BS niche house that is. You're getting something. It feels really expensive. It's not cheap, but they're not outrageous prices, are they?
No.
For niche
it
stuff.
Feels like you get a quality bottle. But you also get quality juice. I think they've got the balance right with the presentation and the quality of the fragrance. That's how it feels to me.
Yeah, I think a lot of time the great value is to be had with the slightly less hyped niche houses where the prices are, not cheap but not ridiculous, and they've got a long-standing catalogue of stuff that rather than some companies who release 35 things a year.
Yeah.
So really, really good, and we want to know more about that house. Have you got any favourites from Maitre Parfumeur et
Gantier?
Thank you. That was better than I would have said it. So,
we
covered it. Next time we'll try and make sure it's a raucous, drunken episode because we haven't had one of those for a while.
We will do, yeah.
But thanks ever so much for joining us, and if you stuck with us right to the end, well done.
Thank you for that.
And we'll see you in the next episode very soon. Hopefully, maybe Claire will have a new place, and I'm getting a new place down here. More on that another day.
Yes. Thanks for watching.
See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.